ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, dear Prabhuji, we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3rd, Karma Yoga. So in continuation to the first verse of the third chapter, in continuation to the question of Arjun ji to the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, Arjun ji is continuing his question, and he is saying the second verse. He is asking Lord Shri Krishna, Vyamisheneva vakyena buddhim mohyasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. So very beautiful verse. व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोह्यसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्। व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोह्यसीव मे तदेद एकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्। व्यामिश्रेण by equivocal, iva as vakyena words, buddhim intelligence, mohyasi bewildering, iva as me, my, tat therefore, ekam only one, vada please tell, nishchitya ascertaining, yena by which, shreyaha real benefit, aham I, apnuyam may have it. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively what is more beneficial for me. My intelligence is bewildered. Vyamisheneva vakyena buddhim mohyasiva me. By your equivocal instructions. Vyamisheneva vakyena. Vyamishena iva vakyena. Therefore, please tell me decisively. Tadekam vada nishchitya. Decisively. What is most beneficial for me. Yena shreyo aham apnuyam. So in the purport, Swami Srila Prabhupada writes, in the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desire, and the position of the neophyte. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness, either by inertia or active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. So very beautiful verse. In the previous verse, Arjun ji had asked, जायसी चेत कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दना तत्किम कर्मणि घोरे माम नियोजयसी केशवा. If you think intelligence or buddhi, divine consciousness, is more important than why you are engaging me in this war, in this ghastly war. So now Arjun ji is continuing his question and he is asking, he is saying, Vyamishena iva vakyena buddhim mohyasi iva me. So by your equivocal, Vyamishena, by equivocal, iva as vakyena words, buddhim intelligence, mohyasi bewildering. So my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. So in the previous chapter, Lord Shri Krishna spoke on so many subject matters. So my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively. Tadekam vada nishchit. So Arjun ji is asking, my intelligence is bewildered. Mohyasi iva. Vyamishena iva vakyena, by your equivocal instructions. So in the previous verse you didn't told anything decisively. You spoke on so many subject matters, and Swami Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport also that in the previous chapter, second chapter, in an introductory manner, Lord Shri Krishna spoke as a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, whole Bhagavad Gita. Lord Shri Krishna spoke on Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, controlling the senses by intelligence, working without fruitive results, fruitive mentality, and position of a devotee, a neophyte in Krishna consciousness. So Lord Shri Krishna spoke on so many subject matters, but Arjunji could not follow. And it is quite possible that a common man, just by hearing this much, will not be able to properly understand and take a proper action in Krishna consciousness. So Arjunji is developing grounds, and that's why he is asking on behalf of all common men of this world, on behalf, because he is representing the conditioned souls of this material world, and especially in this age of Kali, especially in the age of Kali Yuga, people are very, very misfortunate. The intelligence is very, very less. One cannot understand spiritual subject matters. One is so much contaminated by material consciousness in the age of Kali, so it is very, very difficult for common man to understand spiritual subject matters. So for the benefit of common man, for the benefit of everyone, Arjun ji is asking these questions, and he is developing ground so that Lord Shri Krishna can explain Bhagavad Gita or all the topics, all the paths, Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga in a detailed way. So Arjun ji is asking, Tad ekam vad nishchitya, tad ekam, please tell me ekam, decisively, please tell me decisively, nishchitya, yena shreya, real benefit. So shreya and preya. So which can be real benefit, which path should I take? So he could not follow the process in the previous verse, also in the previous purport. Swami Srila Prabhupada explained that many people, they think Krishna consciousness to be inertia, and in this purport also Swami Srila Prabhupada wrote that Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness by inertia or by active service. How one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which action is the best? So please tell me, or for the benefit of other people, so that others can understand it properly. And because we are so much contaminated by material consciousness, our intelligence is so much, from time immemorial we are engaged, all of us in this material world, we are engaged in material activities, and we are always hankering after the satisfaction of the senses, material senses and the material mind, material intelligence, and we do not want to understand, or we do not have intelligence, proper intelligence to understand about spiritual subject matters. So Arjunji is developing grounds by his questions so that Lord Shri Krishna can explain all the subject matters of the Bhagavad Gita in detail. So therefore, tadekam vad nishchitya yena shreya, real benefit, yena shreya apnuyam, yena shreyo aham apnuyam, may have it, shreya, real benefit, aham, I. So therefore, please tell me decisively what is most beneficial for me. In the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained. So Lord Shri Krishna, in an introductory manner, just he began speaking, and immediately he just, that's why the second chapter is known as the contents of the Gita summarized. Swami Srila Prabhupada named it, and all the acharyas, they understand very well that it is a prelude to all the subject matters of the Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Jnana Yoga, So, and Bhakti Yoga. So, in the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, such as Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desires, Nishkam Karma, and the position of the neophyte about divine consciousness. Even Lord Shri Krishna gave a glimpse of the Bhakti Yoga. So, a more organized, this was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Swami Srila Prabhupada is writing. And because in this age, especially in this age, Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the end of Dwapar Yuga. So Dwapar Yuga was ending, and Lord Shri Krishna knows he is Trikalagya, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he knows that he will wind up his pastimes and will go back to his eternal abode after finishing his Leela in this material world very shortly. So, and he knows very well that after this age, the next age is Kali Yuga, and the people in the age of Kali Yuga, in the age of Kali, people will be very, very less, their intelligence will be very, very less. And hence Lord Shri Krishna also want to explain, and Arjun ji is developing grounds. Arjun ji, because he is representing a common man, and a common man will not be able to understand the right path of Krishna consciousness, and there are chances of misinterpretation. So Arjun ji is asking this question, these questions, so that Lord Shri Krishna can give a detailed explanation of all the paths on which he gave an introductory, on which he spoke in an introductory manner in the previous chapter. So a more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters. Of course, they are not confusing because they are on the spiritual plane. They are on the absolute plane, and hence they are all, the instructions given by Lord Shri Krishna are not at all confusing. That's why Swami Srila Prabhupada is writing apparently confusing. But Arjuna could not follow, and there are chances, and there are chances that most and of the people will not be able to follow the path and can misunderstand Bhagavad Gita. So, for the benefit of everyone, Arjunji is asking these questions. So, apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention, Swami Srila Prabhupada is writing, he had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words. Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or active service. So that's why he is asking Lord Shri Krishna, please tell me tadekam vadanishchitya, please tell decisively, ekam, which path is best for me or for the common public, common man. So Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or active service. In other words, by his question, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. So those who are serious, those who really want to understand about soul, those who really want to understand about super soul, those who really want to understand the spiritual science of Bhagavad Gita. So for them, for sincere students, Arjunji is developing grounds so that Lord Shri Krishna can explain the science of Bhagavad Gita, and a common man, a serious, sincere student can follow the proper process. By proper understanding, he can take proper action in his life and practice Krishna consciousness in a proper way. So either by inertia or active, in other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of Bhagavad Gita. So in the third chapter, Lord Shri Krishna will be speaking on Karma Yoga, actions in Krishna consciousness. So from the next verse, Lord Shri Krishna third verse, Lord Shri Krishna will start speaking, and in our next session we will try to understand the next verse, read and understand the next verse of the Bhagavad Gita, and through the beautiful purports of Swami Srila Prabhupada, we'll try to understand the concept of associated concepts with Lord Shri Krishna's instructions, with Lord Shri Krishna's beautiful instructions of Bhagavad Gita. So with this, I would like to stop this session here. In our next session, we will try to read and understand the next verse. So, जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती दिवाइन ग्रेस बाय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय. All glories to His Divine Grace, Krishna Kripa Murti Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Lord Shri Krishna, all glories to Bhagavad Gita, all glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Holy Name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.